Here we have an ancient city gate. I want to give you a sense of what the city gate of Jericho would have looked like. We don't have any remains of the gate of Jericho. This is a reconstruction of what a city gate would have looked like at the time, with two towers and a relatively small entrance, because the weakest point of any city's fortifications is the gate, because you can't make the door that thick because you won't be able to open it. The walls you can make very thick, but the gate is always the weakest point. This is entering the gateway of Tel Be'er-Sheva, where we do have remains from around the same time as the story of Joshua entering the land. And on the left side, you can see some chambers in the gateway. We'll have a close-up in a moment. Let me just go back one. Do you see the overlook on the right side? It looks like an alien spacecraft has landed in Be'er-Sheva. Yeah. All right, it's not really an alien spacecraft because aliens don't exist. It's just not an alien spacecraft. It's an overlook, so let's go up to the top of it. And now we're on top of it, looking back at the gateway. So the red arrow is pointing to where we were just standing. The green arrow is pointing to one of the chambers in the gate. And here is a close-up of the gate chamber, and you've got this stone bench going around, and that's where business transactions would have taken place. It's very possible that the spies, when they initially came into Jericho, would have gone into one of the gate chambers just to start talking, schmoozing with the people of Jericho. Hey, so what's the weather like? Do you know of a good place where we can stay? We're travelers. So it's very possible the spies would have, when they first came into Jericho, would have been in one of the gate chambers like this. We continue. ותורידם בחבל ועד החלון, כי ביתה בקיר החומה, ובחומה היא יושבת. She let them down by a rope through the window, for her dwelling, for her house, was at the outer side of the city wall, and she lived in the actual wall. What does that mean? How can you live in a wall? You can live on one side of the wall, you can live on top of the wall. How can you live in a wall? It's got to hurt.
Because her house was against the wall, because that's how some houses were made, against the wall.
That is very, very correct. And here we have an example of exactly what the Tanakh is talking about. Again, at Tel Be'er-Sheva, because we don't have anything that remains at Tel Jericho, but it's a little tough to tell, but I will point it out to you right now. The 1, 2, 3, and 4 are referring to the walls of the house. The fourth wall is also the wall of the city. You can see walls 1, 2, and 3 come off the wall of the city. So this may be very similar to the kind of house Rahav lived in, and so you can understand how she would have had a window in the wall, so when she looks out her window, she's not looking out into the city of Jericho, she's looking out to the land surrounding it. And here is a reconstruction of a house called the four-room house. Very clever name, because it has 4 rooms. That is a typical house from the Israelite period, from the period that we're talking about in Tanakh. And this is what the house would have looked like. You got 3 rooms, one for food preparation, one for sleeping, one for the animals, and then a little courtyard in the middle. But here you can see the 4 walls. And here, where it says number 4, that would have been the wall touching the city wall, or built right into the city wall. So again, here's the house built right in to the city wall. Has anyone ever been to the Kotel, the regular Kotel in Jerusalem? Okay. Has anyone ever been to the little Kotel? Has anyone ever heard of the little Kotel? Okay. It's not as famous. It's in the Muslim quarter, so a lot of people are a little uncomfortable to go visit it, but it is safe to go there. And here you can see that even today, homes use a city wall as their 4th wall. You can see this home on the left side. It happens to be, it belongs to a Muslim family. And there's the western wall. That's the kotel on the right side. And they're using the kotel as the fourth wall of their home. The three walls of their home come right off the kotel. So here's a modern day example of what Rahav's house might have looked like.